evening, everybody. Welcome to Colonial Impact Wrestling. My name's the Colonist, and today we're going to be watching the first episode of CIW Rebellion, courtesy of me. And basically what's happening here is that CIW, we decided we absolutely 100% needed to have our main event show, and we didn't want to do what everybody else did, and we didn't want, first of all, the reason it's not called Saturday Night Main Event anymore is that we do not want to get flagged for copyright. That would not be fair to you. That would not be fair to me. That would not be fair to anyone. And I didn't want to do that to you guys. So whether you guys can actually hear the music or not, I don't know. You may be hearing mostly just me at this moment. And apologies for that if that is the case. But unfortunately, for some reason, everybody thinks that we should have decided, iMovie decided to foolishly say, no, I really don't think you should have the audio for these clips. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a different style. Anyway, here comes him.
On the way to the ring, from parts unknown, the Devil.
So, him coming out right now. This is him and Mr. Vix. Mr. Vix, part of my team, the NWO Shark Tank. Him, a member of Trevolution. We saw him on the second episode of GutCheck. And this is a little weird for me because I've never actually done the audio separately with the camcorder just yet. And I hope you guys will be able to hear the music. I'm trying to get it somewhat close so you can hear it. And yeah, I think you guys will be okay. I think you guys will be able to hear it. So this is kind of an experiment, if you will, but it should be fun. It should be a great match. I don't know the results of any of these because actually before I get to that, here comes my man, Mr. Vix.
And the opponent, from Battle Creek, Michigan. From Michigan, Victor.
All right, well, Mr. Vix, who is ready to go, and I'm not really sure where the audio is coming out of, but hopefully this will be loud enough for you guys to hear it, and hopefully we'll be able to sync it up pretty perfectly. No guarantees, of course, but I'm going to do my best, and because the actual videos are already recorded, doing this little mesh of audio, I'm not really sure how it's going to work. So we might be a hair off of time. Hopefully that will not be the case the next time. I don't know why iMovie decided to fuck up like this. But hopefully we will have that fixed in time for the anniversary show. Because my goal is to have this done, taken care of, finished, uploaded at least a week prior to the anniversary show. And I have to tell you, I did kind of a preview of the anniversary show. Like I put all the matches that I have booked for that show on my widescreen. I just decided to watch them just without recording, just drinking beer. And I have to tell you, there were some funny-ass moments in those matches, and I cannot wait for you to see the whole card. The whole card is going to be absolutely unreal. I cannot wait. So anyway, him versus Mr. Vix, one-on-one. I don't know what's taking me so long to press the button. But, again, this is stuff that I recorded way before now. And hopefully the audio is going to work on this time. Probably for the anniversary show. I should talk a little bit about the anniversary show. And here we go. One-on-one contest. Referee. We actually have referee Kevin James, who is assigned to... Actually, it's just Kevin James, I believe, is assigned to this contest. And I think only Kevin James is here. Although we do have John Goodman, who we paid in 100,000 turkey legs over the course of the next year. Which is roughly 3 turkey legs a day. No, it's actually much more than 3 turkey legs a day. It's like 300 turkey legs a day. And now a knee to the gut. And down goes him. And him now countering that. Referee Kevin James getting all up in his grill. And him just decides to ignore it and leave the ring. And then come back in and say, don't yell at me. I can do what I want. And then he leaves. And then he comes back. So I'm trying to do this. And this is just the audio. So I'm going to try and turn this down. I'm not really sure what you're hearing, what you're not. Oh, and a low blow. And that's my boy right there, Mr. Vix, doing whatever it takes to win. And I gotta love the work ethic that Mr. Vix, he has been taught well, trained well by the Colonist, and Scoop Slam is not gonna help his chances. And now dragging him to the center of the ring. And it's going to be difficult to use the object pronoun him, considering that's the name of one of the wrestlers. And a blatant low blow. Looks like Trevolution has been teaching all the GutCheck people, having them do their homework. And both of these guys would love to make it into the second round of the GutCheck tourney, which will determine our first ever CIW GutCheck champion. 32 men, and we're not even close to finishing the first round. And God knows how long this is actually going to take. But I actually have to say, I've been thoroughly enjoying doing what I've been doing as far as getting this stuff to go the way I wanted it to. And it appears that CIW, pending work schedules and time schedule like that, but I'm going to try and get as many of these out to you as I can. Well, my overall goal, because I have to be realistic now, the overall goal, and nothing happening, a standoff, is like, well, you're going to get back in the ring? No. Yes, now we'll get back in the ring. Mr. Vic's picking his spots. Got to be appreciative of that. And now just kicks to the chest. And a nice, almost a side effect suplex, ending to a cover. 1 with a bridge. 2, is it over? No. Him kicking out at 2 only. Mr. Vic's going to need to do more damage to his opponent in order to pick up this win. But realistically, I'm trying to get it so that we can do 1 video of 3 matches a week. And I have to be realistic, so it's not going to be as easy. This time, went for another bridge suplex, rope break. Northern Lights! That's the name of that, I think. Or at least that's what I'm going to call it. Oh, wow, what a knee in the gut. Now, slapping him might not be the best idea to get this guy angry. Him went pretty early in the draft, I believe. Mr. Vic's also went early in the draft. He was the #1 draft pick for CIW NWO Shark Tank. And now 2 shoulder blocks, and down goes Mr. Vic's. Neither of these men able to get a clear-cut advantage. However, Mr. Vic's is being very strategic when it comes to his gameplay. Went for that right to the eyes, and then knew to get out of dodge before him got really angry. Neither of these guys really wanting to make any big plays, it seems. But for those who are, it seems like Mr. Vic's is getting the better of the exchange. And just as I say that, a big sidewalk slam is going to halt the momentum of the latest member of the New World Order. And it's worth noting, I should say, it's worth noting that Jimmy Corderas of CIW Conquest is not a member of the Shark Tank. He's a member of the original Hollywood NWO, another side slam. Mr. Vic's in a lot of pain, as it shows, and now just a clubbing double axe handle, and another thumb to the eye. Referee Kevin James letting a lot slide in this match, and a bulldog. Nicely executed bulldog. Will this be enough to put him away? Mr. Vic's looking to build on his momentum, but him not going to be deterred, not on this day. And now a leg attack, bam, nicely done. And hopefully, Mr. Vic's, obviously I'm biased. Obviously I want Mr. Vic's to pick up the win. I mean, if he doesn't, he doesn't. There's no, I can't really do anything about that. Went for a spinning heel kick, telegraphed perfectly by the Lord of Darkness, him. And now rolling out of the ring. Now, a lot of people thought that when I mentioned him, they all thought it was the Powerpuff Girls guy. And I was like, no, I really don't want the Powerpuff Girls guy in, because he's just a creep. It was a good show, though. And I was admittedly a Powerpuff Girls fan, I have to say. And now clubbing the leg, and him now coming back in this, and going for an arm wrench, and down goes Vic's, who comes right back with a jawbreaker. Mr. Vic's not one to be deterred. And now kicking the leg, and now it looks like he's going to wrench the back, small the back. And him doesn't seem to me like a guy who's ready to tap out at a moment's notice. So we'll have to see here, but is it going to be enough? No. Instead, Mr. Vic's going to recall the troops, go back for reinforcements perhaps, regroup himself, but in Bulldog, smartly staying on him instead of doing such. But will there be enough to put him away? And now that Jeff Hardy takedown, I don't really know what to call that. I forgot what it's actually known as. I know there's an actual term for it, and I could probably look through the movesets in this and figure out what it is, but I'm kind of lazy. And I don't really feel like doing that. But anyway, back to the anniversary show. Let's go back to the anniversary show. February 4th, 2015, we are going to be, I forgot where we said we were going to be, but Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Well, I'll just go back and look. So anyway, we still have a fans match. And if you don't like the Facebook page, go like the Facebook page. For the love of God. We do so much on that Facebook page, i.e. like matches or like being able to tell you what's going on. Basically why CIW was gone for so long, and a nice scoop slam by him, who's starting to build some momentum of his own. You know, we do a lot of that kind of stuff, and I just want to be able, him now, looks like he's going to go for a power bomb. Bam! Down goes Vix, maybe going for another one here, and another power bomb. And Vix in a world of hurt right now. Could be over if he goes for a cover, but him a little bit worse for wear, I would like to think, than Mr. Vix. Both guys have taken a fair amount of punishment. But it looks, and him might be going for his choke slam. And down. Down he goes. Is this going to do it? Vix sprawled on the mat. Could be over here. And now going for the cover. Will this be it? The cover. 1, 2, 3. And a nice job by him to advance to the second round. Well done by Mr. Vix, though, giving it all he had. But the winner of this match, and moving on to the second round of the CIW GutCheck tournament, him, who is now also part of the Tag Team Championships, is the only guy in both thus far. No, that's not true. No, yes, it is true. I'm sorry, that is true. It's the only guy so far, and I say so far because we have a lot more singles matches to do before we get to that specific juncture. So, with that being said, great win by him. We'll talk about the anniversary show when we come back for the next match, which there's not going to be any delay for you guys, but I have to stop the tape and re-record. So, nice job by him. Trevolution, so far, on a roll. And he can't be mad with that by any stretch of the imagination. Trevolution's team on fire, but will it be enough? And with that said, let's move on to our next match. Alright, and now our next match in the set of 3 here for CIW Rebellion. James Marks versus Tex. James Marks, a member of, I don't remember who picked him. Might be Trevolution, actually. But luckily I have the notebook to actually figure that out now. Let's see. He is a member of Magnitude's team. So this is a Magnitude versus NWO match, because Tex is a member of my team. And this is the first appearance we've seen of anything to date. This is the first set of appearances between myself and anyone, really, because the NWO was not in the first 2 episodes of Conquest, well, it wasn't in Conquest, obviously, but it also was not in the first 2 episodes of GutCheck. So here we are on Rebellion. Now, you may recall that Rebellion was initially supposed to be another brand, and it may still end up being, but right now we're going to use it for our main event matches, our highlights of the week or of the few weeks or whatever it is, just the more big-time matches than what we've got. And now, here comes James Marks of Magnitude's team.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, from New Jersey, James.
So, James Marks, I'm sorry, I'm texting. It's been a weird week, but we won't get into that. We're here for entertainment. We're not here to bring people down. So basically, let's talk more about the anniversary show. We got 6 matches on the card, and if you don't like the Facebook page, go like the Facebook page, because we have a list of 5 Conquest competitors and 5 GutCheck competitors that you've seen thus far. And those guys, and you guys will get to vote on who you want to be in the Conquest versus GutCheck match. And we've already had a couple people respond, but for those of you who don't like the Facebook page, feel free to go look. Colonial Impact Wrestling, here comes Tex.
From Victoria, Texas. From Texas, Ronald.
So, Tex coming in. The man who wanted to buy CIW, and I was just like, no, you cannot, but you can come compete in it. So Tex now coming to the ring, and he is not one of the members of the anniversary show selection, but you know what I could do is I will tell you guys who your options are, and I'll do that right now. And we are still in the middle of recording. Hopefully that didn't deter it. But I'm going to tell you who your guys are. So for you guys who don't already have a vote, and you haven't voted yet, which is fine, I'm going to tell you what your options are. Your options are, because this is going to be a one-on-one singles contest between a GutCheck competitor and a Conquest competitor with Mick Foley as the special referee. Here are your choices. From Conquest, you can have either Mr. Clean, Ken Masters, Dave Chappelle, Bruce Lee, or the Penguin. And they will face off against either Daryl McEwen, him, Magma, Eclipse, or Default. So we have a fair number of people going to be here, going to be fun. But let's move on from the anniversary show, and let's go on instead to this match, James Marks versus Tex. Obviously, Tex is going to be my vote for the win, and a knife-edge chop starting out the match with 2 punches to the back. Already starting with some shady tactics, which I have no problem with. Mr. Vix did it. Tex is doing it. And Tex, guy who I was not expecting to be as good of a competitor as he actually is, in my opinion. And now a punch to the dome, and down goes James Marks, who has been taken for a loop here since the start of the matchup. It's been fairly quick thus far. Referee John Goodman, this is his first refereeing match. So, welcome John Goodman. So, this is his debut. We have Kevin James for the main event, I believe. But I'm not, yeah, we should. And now, James Marks and Tex, both men outside the ring, not doing anything. Very similar to the original match that we saw earlier in the matchup. And now, James Marks, now, see, that was in my opinion, that was a wasted opportunity on Tex's part. He threw him back in the ring, had enough stock to hit him there, and instead decided to just go away, and paid for it with a belly-to-belly suplex. Down, well, not a suplex, but belly-to-belly side slam. Shades of Ken Shamrock. Shout out to Ken Shamrock, whatever the hell you're doing. Because I have no idea what you've been doing lately. All I know is that you've been bitching about wanting to come back to WWE, but I don't know whether you're going to be able to do that or not. And so while we're still here, and we're still recording, obviously, now this match, nothing really happening so far, but the anniversary show should be fun. We should have some commentators as well, between myself and probably Smooth Jazz, a.k.a. Connor, is going to be here. Also, Ibiza will probably be here. I'd like to get the Sandman to come back, so we have 4 men on commentary, which would be just insane. But it's a great backdrop there. Take a drink by Tex. But who knows? Also, I don't know when I'm going to be recording the audio for those matches either, because, well, first of all, pending whether the audio even comes through on iMovie again, if we have this similar problem, that's going to create some difficulties. And now a punch to the gut there by Tex, who's been fought back against by James Marks, and telegraphed that move right into an abdominal stretch. But right there is Tex, but James Marks smartly taking advantage of the referee's 5 count. And weirdly enough, John Goodman actually knew all of the refereeing stuff. Obviously a big CIW fan before I hired him. And he said, yeah, no, I know how to referee. So he was all down for it. It's just all about those turkey legs, man. Turkey legs are the best. Now 5 or 6 right hands. And Tex is in a bad way here, but a thumb to the eye going to change that momentum, and a drop kick. And both Goodman and James Marks got hit there. Over the ropes goes Marks. And this gives a little bit of time for Tex to recuperate, but instead going to stay on his opponent. Also taught by yours truly. And a low blow by Marks, who's not going to settle for that. And now right into the ring post goes Tex, and James Marks did not take kindly to that knee to the back whatsoever. And in a back-and-forth match by these two. The Black Rose, James Marks, was drafted onto Magnitude's team way back in the day. I remember we had the draft in August, and we didn't have a match until December. And that's pretty bad, in my opinion. And I mean, if you watch TAW, if you're one of the guys that watches TAW, then you've seen before, oh, it looks like, what is this now? Looks like a cloverleaf-like maneuver and a rope break. Already on the ropes, but again taking advantage of the referee's count. I may not like the guy because he's going up against my dude, but he's doing smart and strategic moves all throughout this match. And now a jawbreaker. And down goes, well, not down goes, but James Marks now. Another backdrop. Take a drink. These two guys not going to quit easily by any level. But who will be victorious going into the next round of the GutCheck tournament? Who knows? All I know is that we've got some great matches. We've seen some great matches here. Tex going to the top rope, thinks better of it. And now throwing James Marks out of the ring again. Another smart move by Tex, who every time he has been staying on him, he's been doing so effectively. But James Marks not one to go down easily. And right there, as evidenced by that thumb to the eye and a shoulder block to the back. And now a backbreaker. Exploiting the weakened body part is James Marks. Referees count up to 5 now. And will it be another weird camera turn there? But and Tex comes back into the ring. A counter by Tex rather. And we are filming tonight from the from Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're here. We're doing a little gambling. We're just kind of messing around. And I'm surprised we actually even got the venue. But they were very excited to have us over. So here we are at Caesar's Palace. And you wouldn't have even expected that they could hold a wrestling ring. And a nice monkey flip there. Not a move you see every day by James Marks. Marks, to his credit, has a very innovative offense. And it shows pretty heavily. And now turnabout fair play and Tex going out of the ring. Now Tex is in a bad place. Which one of these men is going to make it to the second round of the tournament? These guys have been doing nothing but beat the hell out of each other since the outset. Referee John Goodman's count up to 2 now. And for those of you wondering if we had to pay John Goodman his 100,000 turkey legs in advance, the answer is no. We just need to have like a massive cooler of them every time he's like in the ring. So we have a massive cooler. It's actually here by me, and I don't really want the turkey legs right now. But a nice shot to the leg. Speaking of, by Tex on James Marks. Neither of these men, both of whom have taken quite a lot of punishment, neither of these guys willing to say die, willing to go down, and apparently love the outside of the ring for some reason. But now a counter there by James Marks. And anyway, speaking of the anniversary show, I want to get your opinion on some stuff. Leave in the comments either here or in or the original Conquest episode, or the pilot that isn't really a pilot. And tell me what you think of the camera cuts, because I'm kind of on the fence about them, because I like the way they're done, but I feel like in multi-man matches you lose a bit of the action that goes on, because they're so focused on the camera cuts that they're not really taking care of, like, oh look, there are multiple men in the ring. So leave it in the comments whether you like it, whether you're not. We'll take them out, we'll keep them in. You know, it's up to you guys. I mean, everyone knows that CIW is very fan-friendly. And oh, here comes the Texas DDT. And down goes James Marks. Is this going to be it? The cover, 1, 2, and it's over. And Tex picks up a huge win for the NWO. The NWO will be represented in the second round. And I have to say, I'm very happy about that. But applause, all of the applause is certainly, surely, undoubtedly given to James Marks. That was a tremendous performance. And I can't deny that it was well fought. It was a well-earned victory by Tex. But James Marks, honestly, I think James Marks deserves to be in the second round. And we'll see what happens. Maybe someone will duck out or something bad will happen. But Tex, your winner, NWO representative. And he is very excited to have won this match. And now we have 2 men in to join the previous 4. So we have 6 guys currently in the second round of the tournament of 16. So we're not even close to being done. But with that said, it's time to move on to our main event. Alright, in our main event, a handicap match between Wario and two members also known as the other Rangers, the Blue Ranger and the Green Ranger, both of whom took a lot of offense to what was done in the tag team match between Wario and Waluigi and the Shades of Black, which led to a title change. This was back at August Asylum, and Waluigi, who's good friends with the other Rangers, said this is, bull. And then the other Rangers are like, you want us to take him out? We'll take him out. So, and Wario, who has agreed to this match, says that they're nothing, they're insignificant jobbers, and 1-on-2 will be a walk in the park, and I quote, and there is not enough money in the world that they could spend to beat me. And that's saying a lot coming from Wario, who has a notorious character trait of the love and spending of money. Mr. Krabs-esque, only Mr. Krabs is lovable. Wario's just an asshole. So, with that in mind, this 1-on-2 match, which Wario was perfectly fine accepting, is going to be what happens here in this last match in CIW Rebellion. Which, honestly, I like this version of Rebellion, being able to do both Conquest matches and GutCheck matches. And it'll be a different dynamic every week, and and we've gotten word just now, I was handed a card that says if Waluigi comes to ringside at all, he will be fired. So here comes Wario alone. So Wario is still wearing the old tag belt. Obviously, he isn't wearing the new tag belts because he doesn't own it anymore, but he still has a belt in his gut. Decided to keep the belt in his gut for no reason, really. I don't think there's much of a reason. But maybe it's just as a statement of saying, I am still a champion. I didn't lose my tag team championship. Waluigi lost his, but I didn't lose mine, and I guess this is the way he's going to be expressing that, by wearing that old belt for the time being. Now, I may end up just stripping it from him because I don't think it's fully fair. But you never know. Things happen. But let's move on. I'm going to get your Alcino tweet of the day here, or at least have it ready, because I don't want to be in a predicament where I don't have it prepared and then we run out of time. Alcino's coming to Comic-Con, though. For those of you wanting to know, he's going to be in Miami, Florida for Magic City Comic-Con. So everybody go to that. Got a good stacked lineup. Here comes the other Rangers.
From Pierre, South Dakota. From South Dakota, the hero.
Okay, I got a different one. But anyway, now would be a great time to notice. First of all, the other Rangers coming to the ring looking pretty confident. And maybe they're not prepared for Wario's 1-on-2. So maybe, who knows how this match is going to go. Coming from my perspective, I mean, the logical choice would be to choose the two men, both the Green and the Blue Ranger, but they've had an atrocious track record when it comes to wins and losses. My personal opinion is that I honestly think that Wario is going to win this match, even though he probably is not the favorite statistically. I think he very much is the favorite. Just in terms of power, he's got his say, but we have yet to see him as a singles competitor. We've only seen him in a triple threat match, which he did not end up winning. And so, with that said, who knows how he's going to fare against these two? And now would be a good time to mention that this CIW episode of Rebellion has been brought to you by AB Productions. And AB Production affiliates, thank you very much for inviting us into your home. We appreciate the time that you give to us to be able to entertain you, the fans. And AB Productions, we are the future, until we come up with a better slogan. So, we're going to use that right now, because we are, in fact, the future. And we're proud to call ourselves the future. And we're ready for this. Here comes a 1-on-2 match. Here we go. And now, Wario getting the initial jump on the other Rangers, but a counter, and another counter. And now it looks like he might be going for a suplex here, and going to hold it on the Blue Ranger. Green Ranger just looking on, not even trying to help his partner. And oh man, what a clothesline. Missed it on the first pass, got it on the second pass, going for a quick cover. Kevin James is it over 2, and breaking up the count is the Blue Ranger. And weird call by Wario to go for a pin that quickly in the match. But, you know, who knows? Maybe there's a greater plan here than what Wario has initially given. Now Wario countering the Green Ranger and going for a sweeping DDT. And the Green Ranger not in a good place in the early going of this match. Neither is the Blue Ranger, really. And Wario, who has just been going full force, you can tell he's getting tired. Needs a little bit of a break. Nice arm drag. Nicely executed. And now taking that break. Referee Kevin James assigned to this contest. Kevin James, who has, ever since Grown Ups 2, has not really done anything. Went for the top rope mid. I don't even know what he was going for there. And now a thumb to the eye. Well, actually, 2 fingers to the eye. And a nice arm drag there by the Green Ranger. So things are fairly even, I would say, going forward. But Wario has been keeping up with these two. Has been countering every move they've tried. Went for multiple clotheslines again. Knee to the gut. And a counter by the Blue Ranger. And the Green Ranger right there to be there for the Blue Ranger. Help out with that tag stuff. And now leaving. And the other Ranger, Wario, actually insisted this were not a one-on tag match. Wanted to take them both on with both in the ring at the same time. And now look at the hesitation. The hesitation that Wario making the blood rush to the head of the Blue Ranger. Smart tactic and a German suplex right into the head and the neck. And obviously working on the skull area of the Blue Ranger. 2 shoulder blocks to the Green Ranger. And Wario is rocking and rolling here in this matchup. And for those of you who are surprised, I mean, I'm somewhat surprised. I didn't think Wario was going to be nearly this intimidating when it comes to this match. I didn't think it was going to be physically dominating the other Rangers the way he has been. It's been almost a squash, really. And now just clubbing blows to the skull. Hitting the ears with his forearm, and even though the other Rangers are wearing a helmet, that does not bode well for our friends who defend the Earth and the space, and Space Patrol Delta. And now a counter by Wario, and a knife edge chop, and now a knee to the gut. And Wario, who's having a remarkable spout of agility, getting in move after move after move, and now launches the Green Ranger into the turnbuckle, and look at the impact. The impact right there, folks. That is not medicated. That is unmedicated strength by the one known as Wario. The gold mine himself. And now launch after exposing that turnbuckle, launching the Green Ranger into the exposed turnbuckle chest first. And now choking. Going to choking the life out of the Green Ranger, stopped immediately by the Blue Ranger. No surprises there. That's what any good partner would do. And now, not going to deal with the Blue Ranger is Wario, just launching him outside the ring. Wario just now with knife-edge chops has taken the fight to both of these men. And Wario definitely trying to make a statement to his former partner, saying, I will be perfectly fine on my own. And it doesn't matter what you think, but I follow where the money is going. And Waluigi might have something to say about that going forward. And I think the speed in which that Wario has been using his moves has finally caught up with him a little bit. And oh, here comes the Goldman Sachs! Got it perfectly! Down goes the Green Ranger. And if Wario went for a cover here, could be over. And he does indeed. Will this be it? But the Blue Ranger right there to make the break up the count. Excuse me. Hit Kevin James in the process. So we have a referee down, and now launches the Blue Ranger into the corner. Wario not pulling any punches at all. And whoa, what's Wario doing here? Wario getting a barbed wire bat and drops it as soon as he sees that Kevin James has come to. Tried to be a little sneaky and throw a weapon in while the referee was down. Unsuccessful in that endeavor. Green Ranger goes into that exposed turnbuckle again. And referee Kevin James counting out the Blue Ranger. And now another choke to the Green Ranger. Most of the punishment. And down goes Kevin James again, who's just been in a bad set of positions so far. Every time the Blue Ranger has tried to stop Wario from making a shot, Kevin James just happens to be in the center of it. And now Wario might be going... Oh, he looked like he was going back for that barbed wire bat. Instead, decided against it as Kevin James got to his feet. Now clubbing blow to the back. And a Goldman Sachs to the Blue Ranger. Is this going to do it? And Wario now clubbing shots to the back. And now Wario looks like he's going to do multiple kicks and a knee to the gut. Wario has physically dominated. What's he doing here? A power slam. A nicely executed power slam, Oklahoma slam, whatever you want to call it. And the Power Rangers, the other Rangers, laid out. And now Wario going for a cover. Could this be it? Green Ranger nowhere to be found. It's over. Wow. And I don't know about you folks, but that was a dominant performance. What a statement by Wario to these, not only to the other Rangers, but to his former tag partner, Waluigi. And I think it's a message to CIW in general. Wario is not one to be fooled around with, to be trifled with, if you will. Made a huge, huge statement in this match. And I can't help but be impressed. You know, I don't like the guy on any level, but he certainly pulled out a huge win. If you're Waluigi, you got to be sweating a bit, but you also got to be looking for revenge. Your Al Snow tweet of the day: I only have to worry about the ceiling fans if I get a boner. All right, Al Snow, thank you for sharing that piece of information with us. That is all. My name's The Colonist, and we will see you next time, everybody.